Good morning, grade 5th. This is Sonal, your social science teacher. How are you all? I hope you all are doing good. So, today we are going to continue block 14, Parallels and Meridians. We will study second topic today. Be ready with all your essentials. Now, let's do recap of previous class. We have studied about lines of latitude and important latitudes. What is the other name of latitudes? It is parallels. They are also called parallels because these lines are parallel to each other and never meet. As we move towards the pole, these lines get shorter and the amount of sunlight will also decrease as we move towards the pole. That's why poles are the coldest. And there are total 180 latitudes because they are numbered 0 to 90 in southern hemisphere and 0 to 90 in northern hemisphere. So total 90 plus 90, there are total 180 latitudes. And some important latitudes are equator, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Arctic Circle, Antarctic Circle, North Pole and South Pole. Equator is the line that is in the center of the earth, center of the globe. Equator divides the globe in two equal halves, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. Tropic of Cancer, it is the northernmost point of the earth that receives the direct rays of the sun. So the countries located near Tropic of Cancer will have hot climate. And Tropic of Capricorn, this is the southernmost point on earth that receives the direct rays of the sun. And equator will receive the most amount of sunlight. Arctic Circle, they are located at an angle of 66.5 degree. And Antarctic Circle, it is located at the angle of 66.5 degree. North Pole and South Pole, they are located. North Pole is the northernmost point on the earth. South Pole is the southernmost point on the earth. Here you can see. And as we move towards the pole, the amount of sunlight a place will decrease. Now we will study second topic. Our today's topic is lines of longitude. Our aim for today is to be able to identify the important lines of longitude. Now, we will draw some lines. You can draw it in a ball or in your notebook. In a ball, you will get 3D representation, or if you don't have any ball, you can also draw it in your notebook. So, first you need to do is first draw a cross in the North Pole and locate the cross showing the North Pole. Draw lines to divide each section of the cross in 3 equal parts. There will be 4 lines in a cross, so you need to divide every line in 3 equal parts. When we divide each line in 3 equal parts, there will be 12 straight lines from these marks like this. This is only 2D representation, so you can't see on the back side. Here you can see 6 lines, and on the back side there will be 6 lines also if we will draw it in a ball. So next, so here you can see these lines. Okay, this is the front side of a ball. You need to imagine we will keep moving like this. We need to give gap of 30 degree. Here you can see 30, 60, 90, and when we will draw it on the back side of the ball, there will be 120, 150 and 180. If you are doing it in a ball, you can complete it till 180, or if you are doing it in a notebook, you can draw like this. Yesterday we have studied about lines of latitude. Here you can see. But today we need to draw vertical lines like this picture. And if you are not able to draw 12 line in your notebook, you can make other circle and you can draw other 6 line in other circle. Okay? 6 in one circle, 6 in other circle. And if you have completed this, after drawing this, you need to mark any of these vertical lines 0 degree. But if you are doing it in your notebook, you need to give this middle line 0 degree. Okay? You should divide it in equal halves. Now, mark lines to the right of the prime meridian. This middle line is called prime meridian. It is also present on a globe. Lines of latitude were horizontal and these are lines of longitude. They are vertical. If you are drawing it in your notebook, you need to name the middle line as prime meridian and it is located at 0 degree angle. Okay? Now, you need to give gap of 30-30 each. Write 30, 60, 90. Write numbers like this. Give interval of 30 and start writing after 0. After 0 you will write 30, 60, 90 and on the other globe you can write 120, 150 and end it at 180. So this right side is Eastern Hemisphere. As we already know, right is east and left is west. And repeat this for the left side also. Give it gap of 30-30 degree and mark these lines 30, 60, 90. If you are doing it in a ball, you can rotate your ball and you can write 120. And if you are doing it notebook, make other circle and mark after 90 like this. Like this. After 90, 120, 150 and finish it at 180. Now answer these questions. Where do you find such lines on the earth? Can you see these lines? See these lines on the earth in real? Do you think so? Where do you find these lines? On the globe or on maps or on the earth? And in which direction are these lines drawn? So these are called lines of longitude. These are imaginary lines. Okay? Don't need to be confused. You can't find it on the earth. These are imaginary lines. These lines help us to know the east-west direction of a place. We can easily locate a place with the help of these lines of longitude. As here you can see, we can say that this place is located at 30 degree east. So these lines help us to know the east-west direction of a place. Now answer which is the longest longitude and which is the shortest longitude. And imagine if we shine a torch on the ball, which places would receive the light at the same time. You need to answer that which is the shortest line and which is the longest line. What do you think so? Can you see here short in this short line or long line? What do you think? Pause the video, think and answer. Do you think there are some short or long lines? No, all the lines of longitude are of equal length. And all places located on the same longitude will receive light at the same time. Means the countries located here will get the sunlight at the same time, means there will be day at the same time, and the countries located here will have night if there will be day in eastern hemisphere, as we have studied in previous classes, class 4th. If there will be day in eastern hemisphere, the opposite will happen in western hemisphere, means there will be night at western hemisphere. Okay, so if sunlight is falling here, so all the countries in this longitude will have day, and sunlight is not able to reach in other hemisphere at the same time. This place will receive night. Now answer, which hemisphere experiences day when the sun falls directly on 90 degrees west longitude, and which hemisphere experience night at that time? What do you think? When sunlight is falling on 90 degree west, in which hemisphere there will be day and in which hemisphere there will be night? Obviously, western hemisphere will experience daytime, and opposite will happen in other hemisphere. Eastern hemisphere will experience night, because earth takes one day to complete one rotation. So only one part of the earth will get day at a time, another part will have night. Means if there is night in eastern hemisphere, if there is night in India, so in western hemisphere there will be day, because at one time only one side of the earth can receive sun rays, and that part will have daytime. And what do we call this line? Now tell me, what is the name of this line? This 0 degree line. This is called prime meridian, and this is an important longitude. Okay, and if we have given the gap of 30-30, then this place would be at an angle of, this would be in 60 degree angle, because we have given the gap of 30-30 number. And if this is 0, then it would be 30, it is already 60 written here, and this would be 90. And if 0 degree is prime meridian, then what is the name of 180 degree, where this lines of longitude ends? Okay, think and answer. Now answer, which are the important lines of longitude? So some important lines of longitude are the prime meridian. The prime meridian divides the earth in equal halves in two hemisphere, eastern and western hemisphere. And other important lines of longitude is the international date line. There are 180 lines of longitude on each side of the prime meridian. Okay. So the opposite side of prime meridian is 180. When we start from 0 and we finish at 180 degree, this last line where it finishes, it is called international date line. We will discuss about international date line later in class also, but don't need to be confused. Only know that 180 degree is called international date line. So international date line is to divide date and time of the countries in both hemisphere, because it is not, day and night are not similar in the whole world. So international date line divide both the countries located in both hemisphere. So with the help of this line, we can avoid the confusion of time and date for the countries located in Eastern Hemisphere and Western Hemisphere because of different day and night. When there is night at India, so the date will also change and the day will also change. And in Western Hemisphere, there is day, so the day and date are different. So international date line only is to avoid the confusion between date and time of countries located in both the hemisphere. This is an imaginary line. We will discuss about it later. Both 180-degree east and west longitude is known as the international date line, and prime meridian is at 0 degree, and countries lying on the eastern side are 1 day ahead of the countries lying on the western side of the international date line. So what happens when we travel over the international date line? What do you think when we travel from eastern hemisphere to western hemisphere? So, while crossing the international date line from the east to the west, travelers lose a day. When they go from the east to the west, they lose a day, and those crossing from west to east, they gain a day. Okay? To avoid this confusion, this line has been drawn in a zigzag manner so that it does not pass through any country. Now let's revise. Lines of longitude are also called meridians. Meridian is a Latin word, comes from meridis. It is also called midday or afternoon. Lengths of all meridians are equal, as we have seen in the diagram. Lengths of all longitude are equal, and there are total 360 meridians or lines of longitude. 180, 0 to 180 in eastern hemisphere and 0 to 180 in western hemisphere. So total 180 plus 180, there are total 360 meridians. And in 1884, meridian line of longitude running through Greenwich Park in London was recognized as the prime meridian. And this is question of the day. The vertical lines on a globe are called, and here you need to answer this question in the comment section. Which is the northernmost point of the earth that receives the direct sunlight? And it is your writing work. Do PQ3 and 4, complete your S2, study next topic of block 14. If you have any doubt, you can ask, and if you will read the book carefully, only then you will be able to learn this topic. Okay, you have to read the book properly because these all are imaginary lines. You cannot see these on the earth. So you need to imagine the things. Okay, watch the video carefully. Ask your doubt in the comment section. Take care everyone. God bless.